Hey everyone, this is Zola, and I'm back like a scary movie sequel. Today we're going to be starting off 2011 with what I hope is a very short tutorial. I'm going to try and keep this under 5 minutes, and this is really going to be very useful if you've ever had to deal with masking out areas of a dark either video or picture. Then this one's for you, And also I'm going to show you the versatility of this technique to apply it to other things. So without further ado, let's have a look here. This is basically just a bunch of presets, and I've loaded one here, and as you can see here we have a very dark image, and sometimes you'll want to separate dark parts of the image from other parts. This is not the best example actually, but best one I could find in terms of pictures and in terms of I only looked for a minute. I've already got one loaded. As you can see, this is basically just a preset curves and it's squiggly lines, and as you can see, what it's done to the image is create a very definite area of where your light information starts and ends. And if you came to actually masking this out now, you wanted to separate the dark from the light, you would have a far clearer idea using that than you would have just looking at the picture. Now let's apply this to video. I've just cut basic Halo clip out. This is one of my many Halo 3 double kills, and we're on narrows, and we have a very dark scene, which has always been a problem with this narrows base, the blue base. And as you can see, if I came to maybe down here, masking out the side of this rifle, we've got this big block here and it's kind of blending into the wall, you might have trouble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to what am I doing? Reset the curves. So I've got an adjustment layer above this, and I'm going to load, come down to here, and I've got my little free filters here. And I'm going to load this first one, and as you can see, instantly it's giving it a completely trippy feel. What it's helped to do is kind of define the boundaries from other boundaries. Now, as you can see, we can now clearly, if we look before and after, we can clearly see that this is really dark when we look at it generally, and now you can very definitely see the area. Now this actual curve isn't working that well for this image. It's helping a bit, but let's use number 2. And as you can see, this is far better. So now I can see this block is clearly defined here. And if I had to come to mask this out, and especially if I was masking it out over a period of time, that is very visible to me now. And the same with this rifle. Before we had, that's not that bad there, but once we get into this area around the muzzle and that, if you put this on, you have a very clear idea, and this one is slightly different. Number 1 and 2 are slightly different. And yeah, this actual technique does not come from video as far as I'm aware. Like I said, I picked it up at work recently, and my friend kind of put me onto it, and it's coming really useful. And not just for this. Originally it was for pictures, and people who do Photoshop retouching use this quite a lot, I believe. But as you can see, it can come in really useful in video and After Effects and any of those kind of programs. And somewhere else where it comes in useful is, if we have a look, is when it comes to banding. Banding is, one of the worst things. This looks like a fine ramp to you, but actually if you bring up the curves, bang, and this might look fine, but if I load my ring, as we can see here, there is actually banding going on. And there is a feature, as you can see, sorry, I already had that at 10, but this is what your actual ramp would look like, and that might not be clear to you on the visible eye. You might think that looks fine, but actually if you bring up the curves, you'll see that there is quite a lot of banding going on. And that's why I have the scatter, which just basically adds noise into your ramp. And as you can see now, we start to see the bands disappear until you get to the point where you think, okay, I can't see those bands anymore. Yeah, that looks just about right, and then knock it off, and you know that you have a perfectly smooth ramp there, and you've not had to change your bits per channel or increase your color palette, which might have a knock-on effect on some plugins that might not work in 16 or 32-bit color space. So yeah, we've got 10 seconds, and I've done it under 5 minutes. I'm brilliant. I am brilliant. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon with some hopefully longer, more interesting tutorials. I'll post the link for these presets under the video on YouTube and Vimeo or Zola Media or wherever you're watching, and hopefully you can make use of them. And now I've gone over 5 minutes, which depressing really. Anyway, have a good one.